Hello, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Let's get the intro.
Are you tired of your hair breaking after waiting years for it to grow? New Pantene with more pro vitamins plus vitamin.
And the loop. Credit to Jonathan McFleming. Kiss my son goodbye, I'm gonna play. The war is just beginning. Mother cried and called me by my name. Please come home to me. They said to stay behind, but I hear a voice inside, and I've made up my mind. What goes up must come down. There come a time she comes around. Watch them burn to the ground, hidden under mother ground. And when I buy my hand up by the barrel of the gun, the grave is gonna gain another one. You have a daughter on the way she lies in a tear-stained letter. Newsman said the death toll's getting high. It's getting hard not to worry. It's sitting at my mind. None of us are here alone, and we will make it home. What goes up must come down. There come a time she comes around. Watch her burn to the ground, hidden under mother house. And when I put my hand up by the barrel of a gun, the grave is gonna gain another one. Must come down, there come a time she comes around. Watch them burn to the ground, hidden under mother house. And when they put a hand up by the barrel of a gun, the grave is gonna gain. The grave is gonna gain. The grave is gonna gain another one. Kiss my son goodbye, I'm on a plane. The war is just beginning. My mother cried and called me by my name. Please come on. Had to stay behind inside, and I've made up my mind. What goes up must come down. There come a time she comes around. Watch them burn to the ground. And mother Ignoring the great game. Another one you haven't done the way she likes. Better. The newsman said the death toll's getting high. It's getting hard not to worry. It's sitting at my mind, but none of us are here alone, and we will make it home. What goes up must come down. There come a time she comes around. Watch your blood to the ground, hidden under water house. And ready by the hand up by the barrel of a gun. The greatest kind of game another watch your gun to the ground, hidden under water house. And ready by the hand up by the barrel of a gun. Greatest cavalcade, greatest cavalcade, greatest cavalcade. Another one.
Robinhood Gold offers one of the highest APYs available. You can get started by downloading the Robinhood app. It's 2031, and I finally qualify for Mint 55 Plus, an exclusive plan for people my age. It's
Searching for reasons. Is this how I'm gonna die? It's your life for mine, letter in the mail. Whoever go to jail. If I die in a combat zone, lights me up and shut me home. Searching for reasons. Is this how I'm gonna die? It's not fun. Return the stolen Butterfingers, or walk the plank.
Fallen Soldiers. Military Cadence rock version. Out on the battlefield covered in blood. There's an airborne sapper dying in the mud. The enemy came closing in until that soldier fell. So with one final magazine, he sent him all to hell. In a foxhole, shaking in his boots. There's a brand new private too afraid to shoot. The soldier to his left jumped on a hand grenade. And the gruesome price of what he paid. Fallen soldiers, standing on your shoulders. We carry your legacy. No one said that freedom's free. Fallen soldiers, standing on your shoulders. Carry your legacy. Someday they remember me. Fallen soldiers, we stand on your shoulders. We carry your legacy. 'Cause no one said that freedom's free. Fallen soldiers, we stand on your shoulders. Carry your legacy. Someday they remember.
Hey, I'm Michael. I work in the as a guide and a scientist, and I use TurboTax. It's like I drew.
Kiss my wife and say goodbye. My wife and say told me not. Kiss my wife.
early morning. And a pocket full of sand. Weapon in my hand. A pocket full of sand. A pocket full of the enemy to my friends. And the ocean to my rail. And the wounded giants all ahead. Wounded giants all ahead. And the early morning rain. As I lay head to rest. As I lay head to rest. God in my chest. Even though I've done best. Even though I'm my best. In the early morning rain. In the early morning. Tell my darling not to cry. Tell my cause I'll never say goodbye. Cause I'll never say goodbye. My darling not to cry. Not to cry. In the early morning rain. Many soldiers died today. Many soldiers died today. Cause there's nothing left to say. So our children they can play. So our children they can play. In the early morning rain. 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 In the early morning rain.
Welcome to Street Body. Everybody. How's everybody doing? So just a quick announcement before we start. Starting today, I will be streaming every single day year rest of this year, meaning I will have content on top of content on top of content. It goes December 31st of 2020 of the 2020 year. Having banger after banger after banger. Let's go. So, first off, okay, let's cover some uncensored. That YouTube channel. Now, quick story to this. Oh, yeah, videos up here too. So, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This will give you the censored I guess.
Now taxi.
Turn your listening here.
YouTube
Is this
pushing CCP carrying China censored. Now, we have evidence. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chan. What do you want? What you really want? You know, subscribe. Think CEOs of the Communist Party, but YouTube knows that's not true. What you really watch are videos about how speed rail is and absolutely no genocide in Xinjiang, the land of happy Uyghurs and cotton, or dancing Uyghurs and happy cotton. Don't question the algorithm. 12 years ago, I knew it would be hard to fight censorship, but back in those innocent days, I never imagined I'd have an even scarier boss to fight. Censorship from American tech companies. You see, I just did a deep dive into YouTube censorship and the results absolutely shocked me. My first YouTube censorship rodeo. YouTube censorship really started going back in late 2016 when YouTube started pulling ads from videos, that is, demonetizing them if too controversial. That included YouTube reaching back in time and demonetizing old videos, including one of the first on this channel. It criticized the New York Times for doing a 180 on their reporting of human rights in China. And really, there was such a big shift after 2021. I wonder what. I flew to Hong Kong to cover Hong Kong protests and more tear gas than I thought. And guess what? YouTube demonetized us so bad that the media even covered it. The financials should have been enough to stop us, but it wasn't. And so things got even worse in 2020. YouTube started outright deleting videos we made about the coronavirus.
I wonder why. Does anyone in chat know why YouTube likes censoring stuff? Does anyone know why? Because let me tell you, it's not YouTube. Hell no.
Like the one I made about how the
I'll be happy to fight YouTube in court. I will be more than happy. They will not be censoring. Which you won't be censoring either. I'll take you too.
For the coronavirus isn't YouTube deleted it. We think about it on social media, including two. YouTube restated the video, even though they demonetized, restricted it. YouTube continued to do that throughout COVID. More people were watching China Uncensored than ever before. Summer of 2024, a subscription at the end of some of our episodes. We got more than 30 weeks, us way past 2 million subscribers. But then, early 2024, something new happening to our videos. And it was weird. Some of our views tanked. They were only a third of the views compared to normal. Many of our videos couldn't even get in 100,000 anymore. On its channel, had over 2 million subscribers. And the way the algorithm works, views, YouTube recommends our videos less, which means even lower views. This is creating a censored. So I had a call with our YouTube rep, and she said, we have a problem. Our viewers just aren't engaged to increase engagement on our videos. In other words, question the algorithm. So I started wondering, am I not want to hear about the CCP anymore? Do I need to travel to China and see how great China's high-speed trains are, or the luxuriousness? But before I could China and get my organs harvested, I got an email from YouTubers the CCP much. Serpent Z 80. They said they're experiencing something. All of a sudden, almost over.
By 86 in a few minutes. Trust me.
overnight on all 4 of their channels had catered. Was China seeing the same thing? Why, yes, we were. And this happened to all of our at the same time. The U.S. presidential election in November. Wait. When YouTube claimed we didn't have enough engagement, gaslighting me? That can't be it. So we posted December 2024. More than 6,000 results. More than one in said that YouTube secretly subscribed you from our channel at least once. More than one of you secretly one of you notice is never or only occasionally their videos to their own subscribers. Meanwhile, more than a third of you said YouTube is recommending CCP, including Chinese state-run television as well as China, saying very
Fuck you,
positive things like, look at all these rails, and there's no genocide happening here in Xinjiang. We also discovered when you search, they're not in the search results. Tons of videos about China. Down. See a lot of channels have fewer subscribers and views than China Uncensored, but to see our channel all the way down to 95, this is the channel don't have much engaged as the other channels YouTube, like 400. The thing is of China's high-speed train algorithm. Repeated this experiment many times on different computers using different native private browsers. In all these times, when we searched for China, we only found China censored video once. It was video number 152. We also noticed something else odd. We searched back to the number of videos positive versus negative in China. 100 videos, 65 were positive about China. Then half of those were travel vlogs about how great cities sales were. Only 21 videos were negative about China. Those were mostly news reports about China hacking the US Treasury. 6 videos were neutral and 7 videos weren't about China at all. That means there were more than 3 times as many positive videos about China as negative videos. We then counted all 552 videos. That was majority of the videos were still positive about China. Videos were bunched up end. Let's be real here. No scroll 500 videos. What's that, Shelley? No one scrolls through more than 500 videos other than Shelley, who did this repeatedly. Thank you, Shelley. Most people probably don't scroll past 100 videos or even 50. That you recommend so many positive videos at the top and burying negative videos. We're not the only ones who have noticed a possible pro-CCP on YouTube. Rutgers Union Research Institute, a new study about TikTok. Unsurprisingly, they found that TikTok was brainwashing America's youth. In fact, it's the first peer-reviewed study is actively manipulating perceptions of China and the CCP through algorithms. Okay, not that shocking, since TikTok is owned by a company with ties to the CCP. But this study also found evidence of a possible bias within YouTube. Two, part of the study looked at engagement, which is what uses their algorithm. The more you like and comment on videos, the more they show up, right? Well, not according to this study. YouTube shows slightly more pro-CCP videos when they search for terms like Xinjiang, Tiananmen Square, that the anti-CCP videos had more than twice as many likes and more than 3 times as many comments as the pro-CCP engagement was the main thing driving YouTube's algorithm. Then the anti-CCP should have shown up way more. But interesting. To recap, 2 months ago, China and Censorship 86 and Serpent ZA, big anti-CCP viewers, all experienced a sudden and drop in views at the same time. A survey of viewers shows YouTube has, many of you, deleted your comments, doesn't notify you of our videos, recommend anti-CCP videos to you, but does recommend CCP videos. China almost never show videos, but do show lots of positive China videos, especially at the beginning of the survey. A peer-reviewed study from Rutgers University found evidence of a pro-CCP algorithm. Okay, it's time to question the algorithm. It looks like YouTube is up to something new. They're stepping back from simply deleting people's videos for being controversial. Overt censorship is too easy to track. The new thing is much worse and much more dangerous. YouTube is quietly redirecting viewers away from China Uncensored channels critical of the CCP, despite that they want content by doing things like subscribing, leaving comments. What it's doing is called soft censorship. Well, I can only guess. Perhaps it's because YouTube's parent company, Google, has quietly started, which is great. The Chinese Communist Party literally considers itself at war with the United States, and Google just goes to work with them. In 2017, Google opened an AI research lab in China. Does Google hope to get its search engine unblocked in China? Probably not. They just want access to user data from 1 billion people without the pesky privacy restrictions you have in democracies. How else can they train their AIs, including Gemini? But it turns out the horrible downside with an evil regime bent on controlling the mind of people.
This mono manifestation method isn't for who want to cling to the intense struggling.
VOA reported in 2024, Google's Gemini parrots propaganda. For example, Gemini said that the fundamental of the a claim self-maintains. And during VOA's testing, Gemini had no problem criticizing, but when similar questions were asked about China, Gemini answered. So is Google's leadership intentionally suppressing YouTube channels? Google can data operate in China? Maybe. Or it could just the result is are being fed pro-P narratives at a time when China is actively trying to destroy America. It's lying down. There are things we're going to do to stand up to YouTube over the coming weeks, like reaching out to the media, and it starts right now with you. That's right, you. Claims we don't have Let's show them engagement. Years ago, I started calling you the supporters of China and Army. That was a tongue-in-cheek reference to the Mao's, as raised this for 50 cents a post online. Well, now from you, my 50-cent army, this CCP and YouTube. I'm officially launching Operation Honeypot, not to be confused with Operation Honey Trap. Here's the mission, should you choose to accept it. I want every single one of you to like and leave a comment, and I want you to include the honeypot emoji, which is Xi Jinping since he is a honey bear. Leave any comment you like that includes people like I honeypot censored or hostile foreign honey. Yet come up with your own. Just don't write anything that would give YouTube to delete your comment. Don't write anything offensive and don't leave more than one comment per. Don't just comment on this, on all of our videos. We publish 4 videos a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. If you don't find them, and go back and like and comment on the videos that we publish. Don't forget the honey pot. The more you like our videos, the more engagement we get. And one of two things will happen. Either you dramatically go back up, or our views won't. And you will help us exactly how YouTube is screwing with China Uncensored. Back of how many honeypots show up in the comments. If it goes the way I think it will, this is only the beginning. I put the honeypot in the description so you can copy this video and leave your honeypot comment below. I'm Chris Chappell. Fight this.
By the way, China, go fuck yourself, my guy.
Why is filing your taxes with say different? Well, for starters, our federal free for everyone, no matter what. With a like this, often now.
Today I give you what you want. Sponsor trip. Welcome. I'm Chris Chappell, and I'm Tiananmen Square, where absolutely nothing happened. By the way, do you know that China is a democracy? It's a unique, totally called a whole process democracy. Ah, breathe in that democratic air. Even though Beijing's air is really healthy and unpolluted, I think I'm going to go to another Chinese city that's even more not completely polluted. I decided to travel on China's high-speed rail. Comfy seats. As I stared out the high-speed window at the verdant, high-speed countryside, I reflected on how I ended up here. It was all thanks to YouTube. My high-speed train high-sped me to Shanghai, where the skyline impressed me. I completely forgot about it. So why am I standing here in the techno-futuristic cyberpunk Shanghai, where the entire city was definitely not locked down in their apartments during China's zero COVID policy? Anti-CCP channels, China Uncensored, Serpent ZA, and Laowai86 suddenly lost more than half of our views. We had strong evidence used anti-CCP content while promoting pro-CCP content. After I published that video, YouTube launched an investigation into what happened with our channel, and their investigation found absolutely nothing wrong. According to YouTube,
And their investigation found absolutely nothing wrong. Damn. Anyway, I will be right back. Next.
We lost millions of views over the last few months is because of reduced audience interest in the videos. Of course, hundreds of thousands of people just decided at the same time across multiple anti-CCP channels like this type of content. Makes total sense. And even though we found that YouTube's search function seemed to prioritize pro-CCP content, we were completely mistaken, because YouTube said that audience signals align with content ranking in searches for China, and that searches for China Uncensored totally work. Sure, although YouTube's autocomplete seems to be telling me I should rename China Uncensored China Censored China Ceiling Design. YouTube also told me YouTube's search and discovery systems are to help viewers find the videos they want to watch and maximize user satisfaction. Recommendations are personalized to the individual viewer. It also makes perfect sense. That's why our survey showed that 39% of China Uncensored viewers were getting recommendations for pro-CCP videos. YouTube knows that's what you want. Armed with this, YouTube, I now knew the solution to all the problems. Make positive videos about China. So I decided to take up the Ministry of State Security on their kind offer to take me on an all-expenses-paid tour of China. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, not the Ministry of State Security. Everyone, this is my ministry tour guide, Xiaoping. Oh, great, my itinerary. Let's see what's next. Beijing, check. High-speed rail, check. Shanghai, check. Oh, wow. I get to go to Xinjiang next. Wait, Xiaoping. Doesn't say how I'm getting to Xinjiang. Part of China since forever. That's why Xinjiang means new territory in Chinese. Look at all the happy dancing Uyghurs. Okay, fine, they're not Uyghurs, but they're dancing. Find some Uyghurs, proving once and for all that there's no genocide in Xinjiang. Does this guy look genocided to you? He doesn't look genocided to me. Sir, have you ever been genocided? That's clearly a no. And no trip to Xinjiang would be complete without a visit to the famous Xinjiang cotton fields, which produce the finest, highest quality cotton in the whole world, probably. Well, here I am in the cotton field. Genocide here either. In fact, I can personally say that none of the cotton is picked with slave labor. It's all picked by volunteers. No, I mean machines. It's all picked with machines. In fact, I've barely seen any Uyghurs around. I mean, there are lots of Uyghurs here. They're dancing off camera, and I can't show them right now. Xinjiang is great, and I'm very impressed with the rapid modernization system, lifting people out of poverty. It's no wonder Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristic for a new era is so popular to study in Xinjiang's voluntary vocational training school. Now,
are you sure about that?
Put on this hat and talk about how much you love pandas? No, I refuse. This is where I draw the line. Pretend the Tiananmen Square massacre didn't happen. Okay. Praise China's stupid high-speed rails. Fine. Cover up the CCP's ongoing genocide of persecuted minority if I must. But praise pandas? No.
Feeling overstimulated with the colors plugs?
Loop Ear 2 are designed to emphasize.
Wait! Don't go anywhere yet. Trip to China exactly as planned. I'm clearly not going to be able to make the algorithm happy by making it into China censored. So you know what? Screw YouTube. Because I have you, my loyal 50-cent army. And with Operation Honeypot, you've made a real difference. By liking my videos and leaving comments with the honeypot emoji, you got YouTube to respond to what was happening to my channel. And even though YouTube's response was inadequate, now we have them on record. I've been talking to government officials and the media about what YouTube is doing. It's your continued participation in Operation Honeypot that's saving China Uncensored. It was looking pretty bleak. According to YouTube analytics, we lost almost 5 million views in the last 90 days. In December alone, we lost 77% of our YouTube revenue compared to a year ago. But now, our last 7 videos in a row have gotten over 100,000 views. That hasn't happened. It's still a far cry from where we were, but Operation Honeypot seems to be working. So it's time to move to Operation Honeypot Phase 2. We've been doing some on how YouTube measures engagement and recommends videos. A big part of it is how long viewers watch your videos and whether they click on your videos. So now there are 3 things I'm asking you to do. 1, watch China Uncensored videos all the way to the end. 2, if you see one of my videos get recommended, please click on it. And 3, honeypot comments. Hopefully this will get China Uncensored more visible to more people. When you leave your honeypot comments, I'd love to hear whether you're seeing more of my videos in your feed. And for those of you who can, I'd love to see you on the China Uncensored premium web. We've lost so much revenue, we need financial support to keep the show going. Can't financial off. I really appreciate joining Operation Honeypot on my videos and watching all. Let's beat YouTube at their own game. I'm for watching China sealing design.
Damn. Oops.
Is this the end of learning the cutting edge two-way translator that's become a in the world? They said travel experiences 10 times voice later. You can engage smooth conversation in over 60 languages in a matter of seconds. Become a true life-saving after navigating emergency, getting the authentic experiences. All things are impossible speaking local. We know it. Why do you need an instant translator if you have a smartphone? Smart, complicated, and simply translated is inaccurate, while other apps you don't get in info, pay pricey subscriptions, and most important, all need data to. That's created an Nets. There are so many reasons why you'll fall in love with the Nets at first sight. Are our favorites. 1, any gadget.
So what I witnessed is just more of what I witnessed last time. Specifically, you, Judge O'Hare, you're not a judge. You're
that is literally some of the most ridiculous stuff uttered
And I think it's absolutely retaliation that's coming to pass these policies behind closed doors.
Well, you would
Having no collaboration with any of your other commissioners, having no public input prior to this being posted, it is absurd.
That is literally stuff I've ever heard uttered.
Imagine getting violently removed from a public meeting and or asking why the law is not being followed.
Most ridiculous stuff I've ever heard uttered.
I know that he has taken speakers out of order. We have.
I most certainly have not.
Okay,
That's just
all right.
ridiculous.
That's-
Find
that's
one.
fine.
Point to the public anyone I've ever done that with.
Do you remember the meeting after the meeting in which you told me to shut up? We had overflow.
I never told you to shut up.
We had
so that's
overflow.
Another misstatement of facts, which that's all you spew when you talk.
Everybody that signed up in support of you got pushed to the front.
That's just
It was
so
madness
dishonest.
trying to
It's
keep up.
so ridiculous.
Yes, we get the same stack, so it's easy for me to keep up.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. I will fight like the Dickens for any statutory power given to me to never lose it, and I will not advocate to gain the state law does not provide. But I take that role seriously.
Seriously, you say? Seriously, you say? Seriously. You think I fucking believe that shit? Hell no.
To the channel, everyone. Yesterday, I put together a quick video showing attorney CJ Grisham getting kicked out of the Tarrant County Commissioner's Court just for saying, like, then Carolina was removed for saying a few words that he didn't approve of. Next thing you know, she got arrested on January 28, 2025. But this video, we're going to take it a step further. We're diving into County Judge Tim O'Hare and tyrannical behavior. This man runs the Tarrant County Communicator, completely out of control and unfit for office. I've compiled footage of him having people arrested and thrown out of the meeting just for, of course, he approves of the people to clap. And I have many clips of that. It's pure insanity. Basically, you can only clap when he allows it, and if he doesn't approve, thrown out. Then we got Commissioner Matt Krause, who claims to know the law and support the Constitution, backing up Tim O'Hare's authoritarian nonsense. Actually saying it's not a violation to remove people for speaking or clapping. Meanwhile, the only one in the courtroom with the guts to stand up for the people's rights is Commissioner Elisa Simmons. She's calling out Tim O'Hare's tyrannical power trip. Go along with it. So let's take a good, hard look at Tim O'Hare.
Let's get a good, hard look at this. So, viewers, turn to your screens and dive deeper and deeper into this piece of shit here. Hello. Oh, wait. Oh, is his last name a reference to the Lorax? To the Loraxes? I think I found a reference. Damn.
There's tyrannical tyrannical behavior in the Tarrant County Commissioner's Court.
If you do it again, you'll be removed.
He doesn't lie. What's wrong with that man?
Yes, did you climb over that?
Thank you. Are you good enough to stand up? No. Where are you, sir? You're in the restricted area.
He gave me permission.
Who did?
It's going over a flow.
You want me to leave?
Yes, please.
Why am I being removed from this area, please?
Please.
I'm asking why I'm being removed.
Thank you.
I'm asking why you want me to be removed from this area. It's not a good look.
We are no shit. Sherlock, sheriff.
Reality at a box technical.
Corporal Don Graves.
I thought he was going in another flow.
You want me to leave?
Yes, please.
Why am I being removed, please?
Please.
I'm asking why I'm being removed.
Thank you.
I'm asking why you want me to be removed from this area.
This ain't a good look for these sheriffs. This ain't a good look. You know you can record the police. Police should be educated that citizens, law enforcement or not, can record them. Okay? Citizens have a right to record the police. Use that right. And if they remove you from that situation or the premises, find another way. They decide to arrest you without, don't give them any ID. Say, I plead the fifth. And then fucking lawsuit on these people.
This is not a good look.
No, he didn't.
Corporal Don Graves.
Thank you.
If you do it again, you'll.
If you're a veteran, absolutely around.
The court.
Thank you. Get him out. He's removed.
He will on May the 3rd.
Get him out. Moved.
Nemo Head, this is not a good look for you and your reputation. I'm just gonna say that shit right now. This is not a good look for you. This is not. You're supposed to fucking enforce the law not pretend that you are the law. You don't have any lapping if you don't like it. If you don't like it, ignore it. Okay? You don't need to fucking remove people from the current location you're bro. Get the shit straight in your head, you fucking piece of shit.
Congratulations and thank you for going through this. We appreciate you very much.
What can I say? I fucking say. No, you don't fucking get. Okay, you don't fucking get to approve a right to remove anyone from a courtroom unless you're in the courthouse in this commissioner room. Nice job.
He's removed. And
dumbass.
Mr. Sand, let us recognize you. Welcome aboard. Remove him immediately for that comment. Get him out of here.
Excuse me, that's protected speech.
Yeah, it's not going to be protected in this courtroom.
If it's protected speech.
We were watching the Tarrant County Commissioners meeting on the desk yesterday morning in real time. At the beginning of the meeting, you could hear outbursts.
Hell, this was covered by the media. Oh, I wouldn't think that would be something the media would do. Especially when the media lies a lot.
Burst in the crowd as that regular meeting went on. Judge Tim O'Hare stopped it, warning participants to be quiet.
So your rules of decorum,
like a dictator
policy cannot trump the laws of the United States of America. So your rules of decorum are setting your county up for liability. We have the right to say because it's a First Amendment right, and you can't do anything about it. In the Stillman case,
Think it's political in nature in any of your tweets?
Occasionally.
Okay.
All
So
right, what about yours?
Your bio. Well, I run my Twitter, but I'm the one talking now, so you'll sit there and be quiet and listen while I talk, and then you can talk later.
Tell me when
You will
have to talk.
He wants to vote yes, it's a yes. If he wants to vote no, it's a no.
Look up.
Okay.
Look up.
Class. That's all you have to do. Just a sentence. Are you a yes or a no on this?
So, despite Tim O'Hare's long track record of stomping on people's rights and acting like a dictator, they went ahead and proposed new rules of decorum that give him even more power to stomp on people's rights and act like a dictator.
Fucking tyrant. Fucking dictator and fucking tyrant. Go fuck yourself.
These new rules make it harder for citizens to sign up to speak. They cut public comments down to just 1 minute if Tim O'Hare sees fit, and it lets Tim O'Hare decide who's disorderly or out of order. In other words, if he doesn't like what you say or if he doesn't like when you clap, he can throw you out. This is a direct attack on free speech and the Constitution. Plain and simple. And the only ones standing up against it are Commissioner Elisa Simmons and Roderick Miles Jr. Discuss these unconstitutional rules and also want to highlight a few citizens who absolutely nailed it during public comment that I didn't highlight on the last video.
Prohibiting somebody from clapping is a violation. These people who come down here regularly have been so conditioned, if not trained, if not their minds enslaved. Last meeting, I saw people clapping like
was waiting.
like this because they were too afraid to express themselves for fear of getting kicked out of their commissioner's building, talking to their elected officials. If clapping is an issue, we clap for nothing. Nothing. No proclamations, no Marine vets. My son is a Marine captain. We clap for nothing. One person of this court should not get to pick and choose what the expressions form should be. And we do get the same stack. That is exactly how I know that he is taking out of order.
I most certainly have not.
You absolutely have.
I really have not.
Okay,
Let's just
all right.
find one.
Fine.
Point to the.
Do you remember the meeting, at the meeting in which you told me to shut up? We had
Another misstatement of fact. Spew when you talk.
Overflow rooms of people. And I was keeping up, and everybody that signed up in support of you got pushed to the front.
So
madness
dishonest,
trying to
it's
keep
so
up.
sad.
So
ridiculous.
Yes, we get the same stack, so it's easy for me to keep up. So thank you, legal folks, for coming up here to help answer the question about First Amendment violations. And thank you all for coming. Unfortunately, they're not going to listen. Several people have texted and asked, have a chance of being posted. And I've been honest with you, texted you back. You know, these men will follow on with him. So
I'll say there were a lot of legal comments made today, but nothing that I heard in relation of constitution. I know Ms. Cox talked about a designated public forum, but I know she's probably very aware that even in a designated public forum, there are reasonable time, place, and manner that an entity can put on to make sure that things go in a uniform manner and in a way that it needs to go. So again, I've not heard any allegation, any specific provision from the Constitution that has been violated by these, which is very important to me. You can laugh all you want, but until somebody points that out, we have that. So I appreciate y'all being here and expressing, so thank you for that.
All right, next up is consideration to adopt the Tarrant County decorum policy.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve this item. Any discussion?
yes. So we've all heard the saying, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. There are two major checks and balances to government: transparency and the First Amendment right. This court decorum policy places way too much discretion on to one person, and that's Judge Tim O'Hare, and it discourages freedom of speech with the barrier of inconvenience. In this policy, the time limit of the judge, the speaker order of the judge can excuse a speaker, and I quote, for any other matter at the discretion of the judge. I am not okay with this, and neither should any member of this court be okay with this. This allows for suppressed voices under the guise of the public is not fooled by this. I've gotten lots of email. This court should not be fooled by this facade either. For the first thing, the time limit needs to be left alone. For 3 minutes, can we not sit here as elected officials and hear from the people who've taken off work, left their children, if they were home taking care of elderly parents, whatever? Can we not sit here and for 3 minutes listen to the people that elected us, jobs we have? We can sit here and listen to you guys. Next, is this of suppression. We're asking constituents to come the day before and register to speak, and then come back the next day to speak. Now, we do offer online registration, but there are some people who cannot register online or do not have access to a PC. So, for those who are and want to speak, to take 2 days out of their lives to come up here and participate in a process that should be very accessible to them. And third, in this policy, constituents place their precinct information on these forms, and Judge O'Hare has the authority to decide who speaks in what order. That is not okay with me.
Anybody else have any comments?
I appreciate all the folks that have reached out to me. I appreciate all the folks that are here to speak to this and stand up to this. But finally, in this policy, the bailiffs can criminally trespass anyone from this building without any direction from a court member or staff. This does not allow any checks and balances, and that should be for anyone. So again, no commissioner on this court should be okay with this policy. It takes control from every member of this court. Subtly suppresses the voices of you guys through inconvenience and places power solely in the hands of one person.
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA different? Well, our premium returns.
I did get into this. I provided input county staff. I don't see a bit of it in the damn policy. So you can tell who's in control, and you can tell who wields the power, and you can tell that county staff is terrified of him. And so this is what you get. But just know that before you all even contacted me, I was opposed to this. And so I stand with you, and I hope you stand with me in opposing this.
That is literally some of the most ridiculous stuff I've ever heard uttered. I am currently the presiding officer. There are statutory powers and authorities that come with that. I've been here 2 years. I receive a pile of papers every morning as they scatter to get it to us all and make 7 copies of it. I have never taken a single person out of order except for 2 times when 2 elected officials asked. One was Royce West, one was Beau French, and I allowed those to come up because they said they had a conflict. I don't intend to ever move the order. I'm sitting here running the meeting and look at this while you all sit here, stuck it under, but you have the same order that I have. This is run by me. All 5 people have feedback, and I realize it's difficult for you to understand you're not in the majority on the court. And so our county administrator does not work for each one individually. Our county administrator works for the court as a whole, and they take feedback and they put together the best thing they can put together based on feedback. And the notion that county staff is terrified is the silliest thing I've ever heard of in my lifetime. I believe I run a fair meeting. It's strict when it comes to yelling out. I will continue to run a fair meeting. This is not designed to somehow give me the ability to pull some fast one. I'm a firm believer in free speech. Free speech is not the ability to disrupt a meeting anytime you want to disrupt a meeting. It is not the ability to scream out. And the United States Senate, the United States House, the City of Fort Worth, the County of Dallas, the Texas House of Representatives, the Texas Senate, all have policies and procedures in place to keep people from yelling out. And then the notion that this policy creates the ability for law enforcement to go enforce law is also ludicrous. We don't have the authority or powers or take law enforcement powers away. What when it comes to enforcing law is up to them, and that separation of powers that you're concerned about would actually be violated if we tried to tell them who you can prosecute, who you can prosecute, who you can arrest, who you can't arrest. I never told anyone from the sheriff's office to remove them from this proceeding when they speak out. So I'll do that, which is my right to do, whether this presiding officer of the court.
Can I ask a question, Commissioner Simmons? I'm new to this, so if this is out of order, let me know. But I practice constitutional law, so I take that very seriously, especially on free speech issues. And you had said that it violates the First Amendment. Can you tell me where in the rules what the violation is of the First Amendment? Because if we are violating the First Amendment, I don't want to sign off on it, but I didn't see anything in those rules that did that. So if you can show me where it violates the First Amendment, that would be very helpful to me.
Like I said, there are subtleties, but to me they're not subtleties. When you prevent or you erect barriers for people to speak, that is a violation to me. So coming down the day before, signing up, having to spend time out of 2 of your days to come and speak, that's okay. A violation.
So you're saying there's things you definitely disagree with in the policy that to you raise serious red flags, but not necessarily a violation of constitutional law. Am I understanding that correctly?
There are things in this policy that raise red flags, and I think I detailed them.
Okay.
Almost everything in here is basically memorializing the authorities that he has as the elected presiding officer. I didn't see anything in there that was an overreach by the county judge. I mean, he could do any one of those things right now in this court at any given time to make an exception to any rule with a vote of 3 at any given time.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. I will fight like the Dickens for any statutory power given to me to never lose it, and I will not advocate to gain additional powers that the state law does not provide. But I take that role seriously.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Joe Palmer, Tarrant County. Don Graves said at the beginning of the meeting, I'm looking for a good America before I leave this country. I think we ought to give it to him. I think one of the qualities of good leadership, matching the scope of the response to that of the issue, These proposed rule changes are way out of scope. In fact, there was not a problem of any kind during the last meeting, except for the violent removal of 3 attendees. Incidentally, neither the professor nor Manuel Mata were coming up in the online system as having been arrested, and no bond amount was indicated through the next day. Were they actually arrested? Were they unarrested? When we remove people from meetings against their will who have broken no laws, what does that mean about us? Since these are being proposed now, I have they are arising from the last meeting. The first was removed at the meeting was correct. Second, the local government any member of the public to address the body on any during the body's consideration. Somebody signed up to speak on right. Imagine violently removed from a public meeting and or arrested in America for why the law is not being followed. Where did these proposed rules change by now? When did you first receive them? You had input. That answered my question. You're ignored, it sounds like. Give too much autonomous power to the county judge. Intimidating and will serve to discourage people from coming to these meetings and speaking freely. Again, there was no problem at the last meeting. It appears that your response to loved ones becoming scared for their family and friends' safety in the jail is to extend that fear to affect their attendance at these meetings. Before this whole thing went down, I would have guessed a sensible approach would be to be extra accommodating, consoling of your grieving community, assuring them that you see the problem to resolve. It's ironic that coming to rightfully about the jail deaths could itself land you in jail. It doesn't look good, in my opinion, as a conservative activist to shut down speech by implementing these unnecessary. You aren't responding to what the people want by implementing these rules. Nobody asked for this. The people want you spending time focusing on the jail, not on coming up with reasons to kick people out of meetings they paid for. Commissioner Krause's question about the constitutionality, it does address Congress. It says Congress shall make no law. I believe that the constitutional argument here is the spirit of the Constitution. The spirit of what guys like Mr. Gray, is that being followed? Is that too? You have the ability. And one last point, if these things are inevitable, if he has power and you don't even need to vote on it, why are you voting on it?
Right.
You have the ability to make a decision here. No autonomous authority, not one more farthing of autonomous authority to the county judge. It gets dispersed among the county. Y'all can all just go ask your bridge.
Thank you.
It takes time and effort to show up some and absolutely coming from here, trying to these policies include having no collaboration with any of your other commissioners, no public input, this being absurd. Every single meeting we are trying our best to decorum policies, to try to urge you and move you in some way, but you have zero compassion for community. You have zero who have died in our jails for the people asked by our sheriff. It's absurd, and even though this policy, we're still going to show up. We're still going to keep you here because you're getting paid by our
Anyone from the court want to help me with that? Okay. Gotcha. So, all that to say, if you were able to sit there for 3 measly minutes, have right now to speak to you, you should resign. Open up a seat for somebody who is willing to sit there and listen to them. Please remember that it is your constituents who voted you into the seats that you are in right now, and it is that can vote you out. So please stop trying to silence them. Thank you.
If you do it again, you'll be removed.
Hey.
My comments on decorum, I ask that you return the bench away outside the courtroom. They provide important assistance to speak in the room and waiting for their time at the podium, as well as a place to sit for various reasons for people time from their day to visit the court.
Can't do that, Mr. Can't do that. Piece of Can't do that, sir. Did you forget? About the people who speak your ears? Did you forget? Did you? I hope you didn't.
All right, Bishop.
Absolutely right.
Bishop, will you give it just a minute here?
Sir, can you get a camera a little bit?
Ms. Beals, you're absolutely right. I signed up Friday night, early Saturday morning, and you spoke. The background of this policy says the intent of this policy is to ensure maximum citizen participation. And ma'am, do not piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, it passes 3-2. Next week, following Mr. Grisham, we have Charles Hermes.
You arrested.
No, him, right there. Yeah.
All right. So I came here last time because my good friend Mason Yancey was murdered in the jail. All right. That's why I meant to come here. But you didn't hear from me. The reason you didn't hear from me is because the thugs you have outside the door there assaulted me, threw me in handcuffs for no reason whatsoever, and tried to arrest me. Thankfully, Sheriff Wayborn thought the better of valor and fucking law. Now,
remove him immediately for that comment. Get him out of here.
Excuse me, that's protected speech.
Yeah, it's not going to be protected in this courtroom.
It's protected speech. It's ridiculous.
This is here. Let me get my stuff. What the hell's wrong? Let me get my stuff. And Chief Driscoll here needs to be fired.
Is it indeed protected speech?
Yes, it is. I've got the case law right here.
Mr. Cradaville.
I would say that legal advice and close on that.
I'm sorry.
I would.
I think it's protected speech.
Well, I believe our policy says you don't allow it.
What
One
policy?
we just passed and the one before it. So, all right, Mr. Hermes is not present.
What did you just say? What? In response to my question, I could
it's a more nuanced question than simply me at this moment. I would say that so long as the action is in compliance with the court's policy, that's what we should defer to at the moment.
So the court's policy supersedes freedom of speech,
No.
Constitution? Okay. But you'll look into it.
I can give you an answer to that question. Yes, it's dependent on the facts of what's occurred. This constitutes legal advice, and I would just advise the court to allow us to talk about it in executive session if there's a question as to
Google it and see if it's
The policy that's sitting here before us that we are following does not allow profane language. So I'm enforcing the policy that is in existence at the moment.
That's fine. That's fucking fine. But I need to know if it's
Most classless person we've ever had sitting on this dais.
Okay. Well, say that again, ma'am.
Johnson versus Campbell is a case law that says we can swear.
We will maintain order. There will be nothing called out again from the audience. We'll just close the room down, let the rest of the speakers come up. So,
My name's Carolina. Small, freedom of speech. Kind of small. It's got 100,000 subscribers. Facebook with another 20,000 subscribers. I mean, people know my name. If I walk outside, they don't know yours, Mr. O'Hare. But I forgot. I'm in front of royalty, so I forgot to bow. I gotta apologize for some of the clothes I've worn in the past. I've worn t-shirts and overalls, but 'cause I kept forgetting I was in front of royalty here. So I just also want to say that arresting somebody like you did last week, or your hoodlums did back there, for retaliation and free speech rights is sufficient to kill a statement. That comes from case law that some people around here don't know, called Beckley versus the City of Upland, arguing if even loudly with profane language will not and of itself constitute disorderly conduct. That's Payne versus Polly. So swear words alone don't mean that it's disorderly. Swear words do not provide probable cause for an arrest for disorderly conduct because the words as a matter of law are not fighting words. And that's Johnson versus Campbell. So your rules of decorum policy cannot trump the laws of the United States. The rules of decorum are setting your county up for liability. We have the right to say fuck, shit, damn,
remove her
bitch.
immediately.
We have the right to say all these words because it's a First Amendment right and you can't do anything about it. In the Stillman case, right? Fuck you!
all right, Mr. Blackwell, you're up. Following Mr. Blackwell is Daniel Freeman.
Is this going to be a third? Exactly.
So I witnessed today is just more of what I witnessed last time, which is specifically you, Judge O'Hare. You're not acting like a judge, you're acting like a tyrant. These rules, these new decorum rules, they violate the First Amendment very clearly. And that one was stating multiple case law on why. That's a violation of the law. And what did you do? You had her taken out and falsely arrested. And now she's back there. Who knows what they're doing to her? And if she ends up in that jail where 70 people have died since Bill Wayburn took office, what's going to happen to her? I don't know her medical conditions and if she needs medication, if they're going to deny that to her. And what are you guys going to do about this? Are you going to do anything? You never answer. You never even make expressions. Like the only time I see you really talk to people or anything is when you tell them not to do something and then you have them removed. That's all I see you do. So when are you going to take this seriously? When are you going to take these deaths in custody seriously? And when are you going to take your duties and responsibility to uphold the Constitution seriously? And your duty as a public to protect the people who you serve. Like all of the 70 people who have died in those jails. There's a problem when 3.5 times more people have died in the Tarrant County Jail than the national average. There's a very clear problem, and it's not being addressed at all. The only person addressing it and taking it seriously is Commissioner Simmons, and I am glad that you represent me. But I do not see anybody else who ever says anything positive about trying to change things. And so I just don't understand how you could be so heartless. I don't understand how you could think that throwing people out, one person twice, you've had him thrown out and arrested for clearly violating the First Amendment and many others. And so I have 4 constitutions for you guys, but you especially need to read this, Mr. O'Hare.
Thank you.
Because I don't think you've ever read it.
Your time is up.
Yeah, fuck you, Mr. O'Hare. Go fuck yourself. What time are we at? Stream. Hour and 37 minutes. I might end stream to play some Kirk. So, National Game Peace, Knowledge of Absolute Viking Nation, and peace.